I'm just glad he's paying me because Mike is just an...
Rolling.
What? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages, it's time for your weekly Fix-A-Funny. Can I get another one of these? I'm gonna need this. I'm about to do this shit. So I'm okay, I swallowed it. So grab a cocktail, take those pants off, and treat yourself to the sexy bald man that makes you tingle in your special place. Woo! I'm wrong! Got my mind on my money, my money on my mind, bitch! I'm house announcer Chet Jackson, and it's time for the Me, Myself, and I show with Mike Bettencourt! Are we done? Yes.
Me, myself, and I. It's me, myself, and I.
Hello. Hi. Hello there. How's it going? Welcome to another exciting episode of Me, Myself, and I. And I'm your host, Mike Bettencourt. Episode 128. 128 episodes happening right here, right now. And you know what? I had so much to talk about right now. I had this show planned. I had this show calculated. I was like, this show is going to be right after the presidential debates. And guess what happened? America happened. That's what happened. And it didn't deliver. And I had all these jokes lined up, but I was going to have like live coverage. And what happened? All you saw was Joe Biden at the town hall meeting. Coronavirus, and I'm better than Donald Trump, and the coronavirus, and God damn it, I'm not racist when the cameras are on, but when they're off, I am. So vote for me because I'm Joe Biden and I'm better than Donald Trump. And then everyone says, well, I think Joe Biden has a good shot because he actually showed up and talked to the voters that he planted there to ask them softball questions. Who are you going to vote for next month, huh? Shit or more shit? Put it together. What do you got? Nothing. It doesn't matter. Who cares? No one cares because I don't care. Do you care? No, because America's going to keep going. I don't know why people are like, up in arms and, we're going to fight for this country. And boo, this country was bought and no, I'm not going to go that route. I'm not going to go that comic route. This country was bought and sold for a long time ago, and we need to fight for it now. Why? We've been chilling for 9 months on quarantine. You think we would have fought something during quarantine? You think we would have at least came up with a revolution? We had 9 months to plan a revolution. Did it happen? No. We were just like, God, I got to get out. And then we couldn't get out. And they're like, oh, well, I'm not going to bring it down. I don't have corona, neither do you, because you follow the quarantine guidelines. Thank you for not starting this revolution. I'm excited. Thank you for being here, ladies and gentlemen. We have a very, very fun and exciting show. I have a very good friend of mine. He's a comedian. Mr. Kirk McHenry is here. He is waiting in the green room. We're going to have a great time. I've known him for many years. He has given me so much advice, and I'm very thankful to have him on the show. But before we move forward with that, I know last week, you know what? I've been messing up, okay? I'm not going to lie to you. Before last week and the week before, I was having my impression duel off, fighting each other. My impression of Nick Nolte and my impression of Hank Hill, and they were fighting each other, and then Ice-T got in the middle and broke it off. And now they're not coming back this week because I got something else I got to promote, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to show you what I'm promoting for this weekend. Yes, this is this weekend. I'm going to promote it now because if I don't promote, I'm not going to promote it later because I'm going to be talking to Kurt. And I'm not going to cut him off to say, hey, enough about you, Kurt. Let's talk about me. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to promote, and then we're going to move forward. It's time for Top Dog Comedy! Saturday, October 17th at Dreaming Dog Brewery with your host, Mike Bettencourt, featuring Danielle Arce, and headlining the top dog himself, Nick Larson. person. Outdoor event, one night only, free entry, Saturday, October 17th at Dreaming Dog Brewery. Bow wow, top doggers, bow wow. Booyah! That's right, this Saturday, Elk Grove at Dreaming Dog Brewery. My show, Top Dog Comedy, is back. So October 17th, Saturday, you got to come out. How much is it? For free, because it's outdoor and I care about you. Why not show up? So let's keep moving forward, okay? I got another special thing for you guys. Normally I have my correspondent, Mike Shin, but he's on break right now. I think he broke his leg or he just fell on to some meth. I don't know yet, but we haven't got back to him. In the meantime, I got another friend, Mr. Dustin Wood. He actually wanted to have something about his own thoughts. So DTV, his own production company, proudly presents Dustin Thoughts.
So I've been thinking. The other day, I came in, my dad was watching TV. I live with my dad because I'm a stand-up comedian, and I didn't finish college. And he was watching TV, and he had a quizzical look on his face. And he said, "What do you think the opposite of adoption is?" And I said, I guess abandoning your family and moving to another state. And he sat there and he thought about what I said, and he went, "You just end up finding me." That was upsetting. Not the idea that he wants to abandon me, but more the idea that he thinks I would try to find him, you know? Like, if I had a choice, I would just replace him with a more loving father, you know? Like something that cares about me more, you know? Like a Brick or Chris Benoit.
God, that's dark. Do you guys feel it had like the nice, loving music, and so sad now. It just brought the momentum down to like sad. Is everyone else sad? So speaking of sad, let's bring him up. Why did he come up with that? Here he is, Mr. Dustin Wood, ladies and gentlemen. DW. DW, you okay, man? Because all of us are sad now.
I'm good. You know me personally, but I realized that nobody else does, and that
nobody else
my
does.
whole thing is the rope-a-dope of, look, he's kind of adorable. Oh, it's sad he only has one tooth. So that's my thing. I love that you claim the other Mike fell on meth, but I look like I grew up on it.
How you doing, man? How's your dad doing? Why don't you tell them and Micers hello first of all. This is Dustin Wood's second time on Me, Myself, and I. The first time we actually interviewed him in Weed. We had a show together. It was a tremendous. What episode number was it? Do you remember it?
Tenta Nueve.
Before I started live streaming, I was doing my titles in Spanish. I don't know why. I just wanted to be different. And I said, all right, episodes say Tenta Nueve. And then Dustin said, Tenta Nueve. I was like, no, say Tenta Nueve. He's like, I just said it. Tenta Nueve. How you doing, man? How's things?
I'm good, man. I'm doing really good. Things are starting to pick up again, which is good. Getting booked a little more. My dad's in the living room right now, watching YouTube videos on self-defense, even though he's 78 and I don't know what he's trying to defend himself from besides arthritis, but he's in there watching them right now, full blast. You can maybe hear them. I can hear Chuck Norris, so it must be.
Well, tell him I said hello.
I will, man. I will.
And hopefully we can get him on the show soon.
Yeah, he's one of the more elusive podcast draws right now. I get asked all the time if he'll
even
be
just
on,
a voice. Yeah, but I do impressions for him. So
yeah, oh, you do. He's a big fan of your impression. In fact, you're the only comedian I've heard him compliment.
See, I tell him I just need him on like the voice in the background saying, "Get a real job." God damn it. Comedy's not a real job. It's for nobodies like you. Well, Dustin, thank you for making Dustin's Thoughts. I hope you make some more on DTV.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me. I'm a fan of you. I'm a fan of the show. I'm happy to come back whenever you want me, buddy.
Well, are you going to stick around for a little bit? Because I
Absolutely.
got Kirk McHenry coming up, man.
I got this interview with Kirk, and as a comedy nerd and as a comedy fan, I gotta stick around.
Dude, you're going to learn a lot, man. He's an amazing human being, so hang tight.
I'm excited, man.
One more time, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dustin Wood. There he is. Yeah. All right. Before I bring up Mr. Kirk, I'm going to show you what Kirk is all about, ladies and gentlemen. Not only is he a phenomenal comedian, but he's also a United States Marine. So with that being said, let's show him what this Marine is all about.
My girl wants to do stuff that she sees in the movie that she thinks is sexy, and I know it's not. I was watching a movie one night, and a couple in the movie was taking a shower together, and she looked at me and she said, "Oh, that's so sexy. We should do that. We should take a shower together. That's so sexy." Let me tell you something. Any man in here 35 years old and up, you know there ain't nothing sexy about taking a shower with your woman. It's the quickest way in the world to get sick. It's sexy for women. It's sexy for women because women get to stand right in the front, right under the goddamn nozzle. And the water's coming down on them and going through their hair, running down their body, the salt is flowing down them, the steam is coming off their shoulders and shit. But meanwhile, you standing in the back, looking like a cold-ass runaway slave. And then it is so cold out here. Can you go over and walk me, please? Please. Like, shit, you can't be sexy looking like Fiddler from Roots. My girl has kids and I don't. Something else making our relationship difficult at the time. How many parents are out there, right? Well, parents. My girl has 2 sons. She has a 14-year-old son and a 9-year-old son. And I hate the 9-year-old. I do, no, y'all understand? It's like a heated war going on in our house, man. I mean, what it is, he's 9 years old, but he's in this phase that they call the baby talk phase, where he thinks that if he wants something, if he talks like a baby, he'll automatically get it. I'm sitting in the front watching the game, he gonna stroll in and I'm like, I wanted to know if I'm like, hey, stop that shit, okay? You don't even talk like that. That shit is not you. If you want something in this house, use your real voice. Use your real voice. He said, I just wanted to know if I got water. I said, that's all you had to say. Here. But he's a vindictive little dude. I was overseas in Japan doing shows for the troops. I come back 4 o'clock in the morning. I've been gone for 1 month. I ain't seen my girl in a month. Come back 4 o'clock in the morning, come to the house, lock the door, go in the bedroom, take off all my clothes, close the door, lock it, get in the bed, curl up right behind. I'm like, hey, baby, how you doing? Oh, let's leave that alone. I'm like, girl, you gonna wake your ass up. I see, oh, I'm tired. I'm like, I don't know. Oh, no, just get to the door. Come on, girl. Go take a minute. Come on, that shit. Come on, baby. Don't do like that. Come on, baby. Please, come on, baby. Please. Then I hear a knock at our door. Maybe if you use your real voice.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, he waited long enough. Are you ready? You've seen him on BET's Comic View, Jamie Foxx's Laffapallooza. He's in the movie What Are the Chances? Please, ladies and gentlemen, United States Marine, make him feel welcome, Mr. Kirk McHenry.
What's up, Mike?
Oh, man, it's so good to see you, sir. It's been forever, my friend.
I know. It has been a long time.
And it was before COVID, so it feels like years.
Oh, yeah.
It feels like years now.
Man,
dude.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Of course, man. You and I have always been friends, and I've always appreciated your advice of everything you've given me, and you've always been super cool, you know? Dude, if anyone says that you're not cool, man, they are goddamn lying. They are a liar. I've seen Marines that, are like, up front and like very proud, but you're like a cool Marine, straight up like, yeah, I was in the Marines. I'll stab you in the neck with a pair of pliers.
I try to stay laid back so my PTSD don't kick in.
Oh, dude, that was full trigger. You want to see me now, Mike? You want to see me now? When did you serve in the Marines?
I was in 1989 to 1993.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You went overseas and everything? And
I only went overseas for like 6 months. I did security forces at NATO headquarters, like almost my whole tour.
okay.
And then I got sent to 29 Palms. And when I got there, the unit they sent me to 37. I was with a 37 Kilo, and we went over to Okinawa. We were in Okinawa for like 6 months. I came back. I probably had like a little under a month left. Did my time at 29 Palms and got out.
Wow. And what was the first thing that you do when you got out of the Marines? What was the first thing? Did you party? Did you have a good time? Or
Nah, you know what? It was weird because I was actually so bored that I was calling my guys at the base, like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? Even though I hated 29 Palms, that's like one of the worst bases you can go to as a Marine. But I was so bored, I was like, man, I missed them. I mean, because it was like, those guys they're more than your friends. That they become it's like a family. It's like it's a brotherhood, man. It's like
I still talk to my Navy buddies still, man. I totally get it. It's like it's a part of you that is still with each other. I don't know what it is.
What's funny is when we did when you hit me up earlier and we did the mic check or whatever you want to call it on this. Mm-hmm. When I got off, I was actually in a group text message with like 7 or 8 of my guys that we were all doing security forces in NATO headquarters together.
Oh, cool! Did you tell them about the show? You should tell them about your
I did. I sent it to
awesome.
them. So hopefully they'll tune in. So
that's cool, man. So when did you start doing stand up then? When did you break into that after the Marines?
I actually did stand up for the first time I actually got on stage was probably maybe about like a year or two after I got out. Like I was already writing stuff when I was in, and I knew what I wanted to do. I just didn't know how to be a comic. Like the first time I ever got on stage was in Norfolk, Virginia, because I stayed down there a couple more years, and they had this comedy competition where if you won, you got to open for, I think it was Tommy Davidson was coming down there. And I entered and I bombed horribly.
What was your first time though, right?
Oh yeah. I think we had like 5 minutes maybe. I told 3 jokes and the host came and took the mic out of my hand and was like, all right, don't quit your day job.
Oh. Yeah. Every comic knows that feeling though.
Oh man, it was bad. It was bad.
So did you think you had a tight 5? Were you thinking going in that you had you rely on your natural funny?
Oh man, I was like, I know that I got this in the bag. Like they don't even need to let anybody else go up.
Right. Especially when you're cracking people up in the Marines.
Oh yeah, but
you got years worth.
That's one of the things that I tell people, when people say, oh, I can be a comedian, I make my friends laugh all the time. It's a lot different, making your friends laugh and making total strangers laugh. So, but I mean, I knew it was what I wanted to do. I knew I can do it. I knew that I could do it. I just didn't know how to do it. So then when I moved back to the Bay, I came back to Oakland and I hooked up with Daniel Dugar, Linnell, Dijon, Rip the Player, a lot of those guys who we all used to work out at Dorsey's Locker in North Oakland. Mm-hmm. And Dugar was really the one who really took me under his wing and showed me, how to be a comedian. But the other ones helped out too. They gave me bits and pieces too. But Dugar was like the first guy that ever took me on the road, let me open for him for probably like a year at least, just taking me everywhere. And I just been doing it ever since. I love it. I love it.
How long you been doing it now? 20?
This is like my 21st year. 20?
Yeah, you're old enough to drink. Your comedy's old enough to drink now, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, how long you been going now?
15.
Okay, yeah, because I remember when you first came around. I was like, that dude is funny.
Dude, I remember when I was in your room in Oakland and Rodney Perry was headlining.
Okay.
And I went up and I bombed. I was dealing with hecklers, and I didn't know how to react to it.
Was that at the 821 Lounge?
Yeah.
Oh man. What?
Yeah. But what was great about it after Kirk McHenry, man, this is what's great about Kirk, folks, is that, the camaraderie of the Marine came in. He came in on the microphone. He's like, yo, guys, all right, give it up for Mike Ben. One more time. This is some hard shit, ladies and gentlemen. But the best part was, he's like, if anyone wants to keep heckling, say some shit to me right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'll wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
You reset the moment, but it was, you didn't have to. You could have easily just made fun of me and and say, but you didn't, man. That means that right there was showing how much you care about comedians doing well.
I mean, my thing is, man, when a comedian bombs, and we all have bombed, you already feel bad enough. You don't need the host to kick you when you're down.
Right. Even if you're a terrible person.
Yeah. I personally, I've known comedians who we all started out around the same time, or people that used to come to Dorsey's, that had bad sets. And, Linnell, who was very old school, would go up and she would clown. It was like she was giving you pointers, but she would clown you at the same time. And people quit. Like they never came back. Never got on stage again. I saw one person. It's funny. I saw one guy that Linnell clowned so bad one time. I was doing a show in San Leandro at the Bow Theater.
Okay.
And I went across the street before the show to go get a soda, and the guy was delivering the mail. He was the mailman. I was like, "You went from comedy to the post office? Like,
oh man,
that's bad. Like that is bad." So
he just gave up because of
he quit. And he was funny too. The thing about he was a funny kid. He was funny.
So why do you think Linnell has that in her to do that? Is it like tough love?
It's like Linnell, I love Linnell to death. Linnell's like a big sister. She like really did a lot for me, showed me a lot, taught me a lot. But Linnell comes from a different era than me. Linnell comes from the era of I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, and I'm gonna say it how I want to say it. Linnell will give it to you raw and uncut. Me, I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear, but I'm gonna make sure that if you're already feeling bad, I'm not gonna make you feel any worse. So I'll be a little bit more, kind with my words.
I'm like that too, because I believe in the comedy gods. Yeah, and the comedy gods will strike down upon you if you shit on people, and especially even if they're a horrible, miserable person. But when you see someone sweating and that cold sweat, you already know it's painful.
Oh yeah. My worst set ever in 21 years of comedy happened at Dorsey's Locker one night on a Monday night. Monday night was the workout night. And I had been going there. I think I've been doing comedy for about maybe 18 months. Everybody there knew me. I was just really starting to get a nice, tight 15, 20-minute set. And I went in there one night, man, and I don't know what happened, but we were doing 7-minute sets. And for 7 minutes, I got total silence. Damn. No laughing, no, it was the worst feeling it was so bad that when I came back the next week, because I was like, I got to go back and redeem myself. When I came back the next week, I was walking in the club. Linnell was walking out to get something out of the car. Linnell, we like bumped into each other. Linnell said, "Hey, Kirk." Was like, "Oh, I didn't think we were ever going to see you again."
Damn.
But the
redemption set though.
That's the thing. That a lot of people can't get past bombing, man. Like that's painful. Like,
it's miserable. Yeah, absolutely. But if you love it, you'll deal with the pain.
Oh yeah.
It's just so funny when comics that love it and deal with the cycle of ups and downs. When we're shit hot, we don't write, we don't do anything, and then when we bomb, we're writing the next day. We're looking at our tapes.
As you're bombing, you're like, I knew I should have told that new joke.
Oh, you know what I hate after you bomb is when you're driving home and you're thinking of all the funny stuff that could have happened. You're like, damn it.
Yeah, because you're driving home in total silence. You don't even want to hear music on the radio. You hate every song on the radio.
Everything, dude.
And it's funny because if you do listen to music, every time you hear that song, after that, you think about, damn, I bombed that night.
Oh, my God. I never thought about that. That's hilarious.
Man, yeah.
That's funny. So when did you start making a turn in your comedy career? When did you start going like, wow, I'm funny and I can really do this?
You know what's funny is I was making some noise around the Bay Area. Like 2 years going in, I was starting to get, recognized. People were saying, this guy's funny. With the help, like I said, with a lot of help from Dugar and Linnell and other people who were vouching for me. But everybody used to always tell me, you really break through at your 5-year mark. And I was like, oh, it's not gonna take me that long, And I was, having good sets. My stuff was getting good, but approaching my 5-year mark, something changed in me. Like I actually took like 6 months off, and I wrote for 6 months. And it was like people back then they were giving us advice and telling us how to do certain things, but there were a lot of comics, a lot of older comics who were telling us how to do comedy, and some of the stuff that they were saying, it just wasn't me. Like, they're like, oh, you got to wear a suit. You got to do this. I was just like, I'm not a suit guy. Mm-hmm. So I took a break. I wrote for 6 months. I was like, when I came back, I think I was probably 2 weeks away from my 5-year mark. And Tony Sparks and Carla Clay had a Wednesday night at Kimball's East in Emeryville. And this was a showcase. It packed 300 people. And I went in, and Tony was like, Tony Sparks, shout out to Tony Sparks, the coolest guy, like one of the coolest guys.
He's a legend. For people that don't know who Tony Sparks is, he's what, 30 years
in this comedy business. So I come in, and Tony was like, hey, Kirk, how you been? I was like, Tony, can I get a spot? And he was like, yeah. So he was like, you're going up third. So I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting on the side. I'm waiting. Second comic goes up, and Tony comes over and says, you're next. And I'm telling myself, I'm going to do comedy the way I want to do it. I'm going to tell the jokes the way I wrote them, the way I, told them to myself in my head, and made me chuckle. And I went out there. I think we're doing like, 7-10-minute sets, a showcase. And I went out there, and I had such a good set that the comic who came up after me, who's a personal friend of mine, went out there and was basically like, I don't even know why you're putting any more comics up. Like, he just shut the room down. Wow. So I kept going back there on Wednesday nights. And after my third Wednesday going there, that's when they said, Kirk, you have to close it out. Whenever you're here, you have to close it out because no one wants to follow you. Wow. And then the momentum just started picking up. I got picked as one of the top 10 comics in the Bay Area, which was crazy because all the other comics were from San Francisco. I was the only comic from Oakland. And, that San Francisco comedy and Oakland comedy is like
two different animals.
Yeah. So, and then
two different audiences too.
Yeah. And I just kept going. I just kept rolling with it. I think I did like my second appearance on Comic View. Mm-hmm. Started going overseas a lot more, doing shows for the troops, and just really getting noticed like all over the Bay Area. It was just like I was on a lot of shows, man. I was doing a lot of traveling, a lot of overseas, a lot of out of state work. Getting booked for a lot of stuff, and thank God it's still rolling.
That's great. So basically, what you just said was, after you took those 6 months off to write, and you got on stage for the first time in 6 months, right before your 5-year mark, you literally walked into your own voice in comedy.
And that's what I was going to say is
that's beautiful, man.
A lot of comics say, I want to make it. I want to make it. I want to make it. To me, making it in this, it's not about the money, the fame. It's about when you find your voice and you can tell jokes the way you thought them, and you can, convey your humor to the crowd, to where the crowd is like really with you. I mean, like when you're painting a picture so clear to them through your words that they can see everything that you're telling. Like, this story is just incredible to them, and they're hanging on your every word. Like, that's making it. Then, don't get me wrong, I still want to see a lot of money and some stuff too, but
you're not going to get that money if you don't have that voice.
Yeah, exactly. And I was glad to find my voice, because a lot of comics in this, a lot of people in this comedy business, man, even some people that are making a lot of money still haven't found their own voice.
Right. And I think if they don't have that voice, if they have someone like you going up before them, they don't know how to follow. They don't know how to reset the moment, because they think they got to be like you or go up to that level. But if you have a killer going in front of you, Kirk, that just demolishes it, you know how to reset that moment, though.
It's because people think that you have to, blow the comic out the water that went up before you, or if you're featuring, you got to blow the headliner out the water. It's not about that. It's not blowing anybody out the water.
Right.
It's about doing your thing and staying consistent every time you're on stage. Daniel Dugar gave me some of the best advice ever. He said, when you're on that stage, whether you're the host, the feature, you're doing a guest set, or you're the headliner, you treat that stage as if it's your show. and you stay consistent. He was like, it's not about standing ovations. He was like, standing ovations are going to come. He was like, you just worry about staying consistent every time you go on stage. And that's how I got booked a lot, was because people knew every time I went on stage, I was consistently funny on stage.
Wow. So when did you get a Comic View from the momentum that you started getting?
Comic View. The first one I did was in I want to say 03 maybe, because we had all auditioned. I had auditioned the year before at the End Zone in Oakland, world famous End Zone, one of the hardest rooms. Oh my God, I used to be terrified to do that room. But I auditioned that year and I didn't get picked. And then the next year, there was a girl by the name of Tracy. What's her name? Tracy Spires, I believe her name was. And she was working with the people who took over the new season of Comic View. And she was a regular at Dorsey. She always came every Monday to watch comedy. And she explained to us that, you know, they were taking over this new season of Comic View. And she was like, I guarantee you guys, I'm going to send as many comedians from Oakland as I possibly can. And she sent like 10 of us to do Comic View. And I did it that year. That was in Atlanta. And then the next year, I didn't have to audition. They actually called me. And I went back. The next year was in New Orleans. Bruce was the host, which to me was the best season. And not just because I was a part of it. That was like the best season of Comic View. And then I did the last one, the Comic View One Mic Stand with Kevin Hart. We taped it in like 07, but they didn't air them till like 2014.
Did you learn anything from taping versus just doing stand-up on stage?
I mean, it's totally different. I mean, when you have to, on a show like Comic View, you have to watch what you say. Like the first year doing it, they come in and they would give you a list of words that you could not say on TV, and they would tell you, we'll beep you twice. The third time we're going to stop tape and we're going to take you off stage, and that's it. You're not going to air.
No pressure.
You're not gonna air, and you're not going to get paid.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So
what were the words?
Oh, I mean, all the, no F-bombs.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like, you can't say the word the.
Yeah, you couldn't say it. It was just certain things that you couldn't say. And, I mean, even with the list, there were comics that still had to get beeped a couple times.
Jeez.
That's crazy. That's what a lot of people don't understand, man. Doing comedy on TV is totally different than doing it in a club. You have to watch what you say. And like I say, if you can't go clean, you can't do TV.
Right.
Like, I mean, you're not doing like the Tonight Show or anything like that. You can do HBO and stuff like that. But
does TV have a different vibe and a connection versus talking to a live stage? Because you're gonna connect with the camera more than the audience, but you got to juggle, right?
I mean, the only difference to me really was just the cameras being there. I mean, I treated it like any other show, and you could tell who was a veteran, who was ready for. Like my first year on Comic View, I watched that tape and I'm like, I don't even know how I got picked. I'm like, I was horrible. I thought my set was horrible. Oh my God, it was terrible.
Was it because you were nervous? Were you just nervous?
I was nervous. I kept one hand in my pocket the entire time.
Oh wow.
I was nervous. My mouth was dry. I had them, and then I lost them, and then I brought them back close. I really strong. Every year I did Comic View, I got a standing ovation.
Wow.
And this is when, this was before they would make people stand up, because they started telling people, hey, stand up at the end. This was before they were telling people, like my first year in Atlanta, like I said, I had them, I lost them, but then I closed out really strong. My second year in New Orleans was like my set in New Orleans was really, really strong. And then my one for One Mic Stand with Kevin Hart, Kevin came back and they closed the show out with him asking questions, and it was 3 comics on every show, and he asked each comic a question, and then he just talked to me the rest of the time. And after the tape stopped rolling, he kept talking to me. He was like, man, do you write your own material? And I'm like, yeah. And one of the guys that's in his crew, Joey, well, I don't know if you remember J-Dub, but J-Dub is a friend of ours. So J-Dub was telling him, hey, man, this is Kirk. This is one of the guys from Oakland I was telling you about. So we met. He was real cool. fast forward to what 2015, I think it was. Me, Dugar, and comedy guy Eddie Bryant out of DC, and another comedian Chico Will. We were all over in Australia doing the comedy festival in Australia. J Dub and Kevin Hart and them were on tour. They're in Perth. They leave us tickets to the show. So we go to the show, and after the show, we're all talking everything. We speak to Kevin. He was tired. He just got off stage. So we're standing in the hallway talking. Next thing I know, Kevin Hart grabs me by the shoulder, spins me around, and was like, Kirk McHenry. And I'm like, yeah. He was like, I knew I recognized that voice. And he was telling other guys, he's like, this is the dude from One Mic Stand that I was telling you guys.
Oh, wow.
I'm just like, wow. Like, okay, like, cool. And he was just like, what are you guys doing over here? We're like, man, we're here for the comedy festival. And he was just like, man, keep doing your thing. He was just like, man, your time is coming, man. Your time is coming.
Nice, man. That's great. Dude, that's a great story, man. From the Marines to where you are now, man. It's such a. Oh, we got someone saying, "What's up, man?" They say, "Hola, McHenry, Oakland Virgo," saying hello to you. Do you know who that is?
Oakland Virgo. Oh, that's my little sister.
Okay, cool. Cool. That's awesome. Thank you for being here.
Yeah,
appreciate it. I got Dustin Wood hanging out in the green room right now, man. He wants to ask you a couple questions.
Dude, hey, that was funny.
Was it?
That was funny.
I love this guy, man. So here he is. Here's Dustin Wood. Dustin,
what's
this
up,
is Kirk?
Dustin, what's up, man?
How you doing, man? I'm a big fan. This is exciting for me.
Oh man, thank you. I appreciate it.
I have a couple questions. One, I'm a huge hip hop fan.
Okay.
The movie What Are the Chances? Is that the D12 movie?
No. It actually the movie originally was called What Are the Chances, but they changed the name of it to Don't Get Caught.
Okay. Because I was like, I've seen that movie like 40 times, and I was like, do I need to rewatch it and see if Kirk?
No, it's actually, you can catch it on Amazon Prime. I think it's still on Amazon Prime. Brian Hooks, who starred in Three Strikes,
right?
He's the star.
That was E40, right?
Yeah, him. Brian Hooks and E40 are the stars of the movie. I'm in like the opening scene. I play a used car salesman. I think I got like. Yeah,
did you have the suit and everything?
Oh yeah, same suit I wore in Comic View.
Nice, man. That's awesome.
It came out. I mean, I watched it. My wife and I watched it. It was actually pretty funny. I was just rewinding my part over and over again because I'm like, I can't believe I'm actually in a movie.
Right?
Was that a hard transition from the stage to being funny on film?
No, you know what? It wasn't for me. I don't know why. For some reason, I don't have a fear when I see cameras. I can remain pretty natural. What was funny about it was D-Shot from The Click, who directed the movie. D-Shot had been telling me he was going to put me in a movie for years. So he gave me this part. When he gave me the script, and I read the script, and it was the scene is with me and Brian. And I called him on the phone, and he was like, yeah, I need a comedian for this role. So when I read the script and I called him back, I was like, dude, I'm not funny. I was like, he's funny. I'm the straight guy in this scene. So he was like, I don't care what you got to do, just make funny. I took 3 lines. I think I put maybe two words in and just changed one line around, and it was fun. It was funny, and we did the scene, and after the scene, and we were done, we wrapped for the day. And Brian was like, man, how is it that I've never worked with you before? And I'm like, what? And he was like, well, how have I never worked with you before? And D-Shot was like, oh, Kirk's a stand-up. And he was like, you're a comedian? I'm like, yeah. He was like, you're not an actor? I was like, no. He was like, man. He was like, hey, man, you a natural. He was like, you are a natural.
That's so
awesome.
Cool, though.
But,
like that.
It's hard. I mean, some comics do have a hard time when those cameras go on. They can go from being one of the most loose people in the world to just like freezing up. Yeah. And thank God that doesn't happen to me.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Especially cool. On set. That would have sucked. Like, and action.
Yeah, right. I don't think we should do that. Turn walk.
Dustin, you got any other questions for Kirk?
Yeah, if you don't mind, I got one more.
Yeah, go ahead.
I gotta say, like, your story is so relatable to me. Not the military stuff, because you couldn't pay me to do a jumping jack, but more the aspect of I've had a lot of I've been lucky to be surrounded by people like Mike and other comedians that, like Cole Black and Carl Lee, that have given me some great pointers. I've also had other comedians that are successful that have said this is what you have to do to become a comedian, and they told me the same stuff, that you basically got to dress like a magician on stage, the suit, the vest, and all that. And I just felt like a fraud up there. You could tell how uncomfortable I was. It wasn't until I went up there with a t-shirt, a hat, and Nikes on that I was me, and I found me. Yeah, I found that so relatable, what you're talking about. And the thing you talked about, how you don't even want to listen to music when you're driving home, is so relatable. I can't listen to No Doubt or Gwen Stefani's voice, because I instantly think of February 14th at the Music Hall in Wairika, California, bombing worse than I've ever bombed.
Oh, man.
And I wanted to ask, you know an exact artist now that you can listen to.
But I mean, it comes with the territory. Everybody bombs. Everybody bombs. The thing is, can you recover from bombing? And I mean, you're exactly right. I mean, you sound just like me. I mean, I'm tennis shoes, jeans, a t-shirt, a button up, whatever. I mean, but you still have to, be able to pull it off. Like if they tell you to wear a suit, you have to feel comfortable in that suit. Yeah. You can take it off as soon as you get off stage. But if they tell you, hey, we're going to pay you this amount of money, and you're like, okay, cool. And they're like, but you have to wear a suit. You can't say, you can't be so uncomfortable. Like, no, I can't, I'll pass. Like you're going to let a suit
pass up on that money.
Yeah, exactly. So, but no, you're totally right in what you're saying. As far as, you got to be you on stage, man. If you feel like jeans and tennis shoes and, if that works for you, that's what you wear. I mean, because what's going to happen is as you grow and as you get an audience of your own, they're going to come to see you. They're going to know what to expect. They're going to know, what to they expect to hear from you. And they're going to expect you to wear, jeans and tennis shoes. Like you'll shock them if you come out in a suit. They're like, what happened to him?
Right. You don't want to lie to your own audience.
It's like I said, when you find your own voice and people start listening to your voice, then they're coming to see you. And they want to see you. They don't want to see some knockoff version of you. And, they don't want to see you be something that you're not. They want to see you. I have people that come up to me at shows and ask me, why didn't you tell this joke? I'm like, I haven't told that joke in 10 years. And they're like, well, that's one of my favorites. I'm like, I will try to remember that next time. But, you grow, man. You evolve. But you got to stay true to who you are,
That's awesome, man. Thank you.
Well, Dustin, thanks, buddy. Awesome. You can stick around for the
absolutely, man. I love this interview. This is so great, man.
This is great. By the way, Kirk, Dustin has a room up in Wairika that you got to be a part of, man. Really? Whenever you come up here, man.
Let me know. Last time I did.
This is what we do. We network on Me, Myself, and I. We don't just talk. We network.
I did last time I did what's Chicago Steve Barkley's room in Reading. He booked me for a room in Reading.
Oh, Woody's. Woody's.
Yeah. Oh man, I had so much fun there.
That's a great place. I did that the day before everything shut down for COVID.
Yeah. I cannot wait to get back on stage, man. I swear, man. I cannot wait.
Well, Dustin, thank you, brother. Stick around, okay?
Thank you, guys.
Hey, tell your father I said hello.
Yeah, I will, man.
Dude, it's so funny that you said about Woody's, man. I did Woody's about like a year and a half ago, and I freaking bombed miserably there.
Did you?
And I'll tell you why. It was during the Paradise Fires, and it was just all smoky. Everyone was in a bad mood.
Yeah.
And I just said, I forgot what I said. I don't know what, I wasn't trying to pick a side, but as soon as I said Democrat, this one guy with a Trump hat just made the room a stench. And then I brought him back up, but for me, it wasn't my best. And I was like, and same way, I was driving home and I was like, so miserable, man. I even did a podcast. I was in my hotel. That's what it was. I was in my hotel room doing a podcast. And I was like, I can't believe I just bombed. It's just so, I had to get it out, man. But then the next day, man, you wash it off.
Oh, yeah.
Yourself and keep going, man.
That's how you do it.
Man. By the way, you got Wanda Provost saying, hey, nephew.
That's my Auntie Wanda. Hey, Auntie.
You got any good stuff, Auntie? Anything about Kirk?
Oh, my God, please. If my family ever writes a tell-all book, I see my other my favorite aunt, my Aunt Corliss.
Corliss, right here.
Oh, my God.
Community teachers, aka the Muck, is sending you a shout out. Oh, that's awesome.
She has so much blackmail material. Oh, my gosh. she doesn't just have pictures. She has video of us. Like, oh,
I should have contacted her before the show.
Nah, man. Oh my gosh, she has pictures of us that I probably pay not anyone seen them.
She's waiting for you to like blow up and become a household name. Then she's like, "Hey, am I going to go to the Oscars with you, Kirk? I'm not. Remember that video?
She told me that years ago. She told me she was going to do that. I mean, she has all the pictures.
Oh man, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Look, I have the best pictures.
That's my little sister. Yeah, she sent me one the other day when I was in 7th grade. The picture that I hate. Oh God, I hate that picture. I had the worst.
Shared it here. This is the perfect medium for it, Kirk.
No, but she'll mess around and post it. Like, I hate that picture.
Oh, what was it? Can you describe it?
Catholic school picture, and I had like a shag. We call them shag hair. It was like the black mullet, like the
Was it Jerry curl?
No, I did not have a Jerry curl. Mike.
It was a shag. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Like long in the back and
kind of like
you couldn't tell me I wasn't cool though. You cannot tell me.
That's right, man. Always staying fresh, right? Always gotta stay fresh with the times, man. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
When was the last time you were on stage?
March.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in March. I did. I have a room down here that I'm working with a guy out in Bakersfield. We did that on a Friday. Then we went up to Monterey and we did this room, Deja Blue, in Monterey. That was the last 2 shows I did.
Wow.
Yeah. And
wow, it's so weird not doing every night. Getting up on stage every night and stuff.
It's. Oh man, I don't even know where to start. This pandemic has been a roller coaster. Like, I don't know. Other people don't understand. Like, we're creative people, and we need to create. We need to use that creative side. And when you can't use it, it just. Oh man, it's bad. I just reconnected. I don't know if you remember a guy, Big Chris. He was out of Richmond. Chris
sounds familiar.
Chris Segee, looked like Steven Seagal, got a long ponytail.
Okay.
He and I had hooked up, and we're gonna shoot some sketches and some other
Good,
stuff.
Man.
Because man, I was like going crazy. Like,
I bet
I was good. And it's funny because my wife works from home, so this has not affected her at all. I mean, I think I was bothering her more.
Probably just bouncing off the walls, man.
It's coming in every 5 minutes. You need anything? You want to? Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I have seen every series on Netflix. I have seen everything on Amazon Prime. But I've written some stuff that I think is pretty funny, and I'm looking forward to getting back on stage and sharing some of this new stuff.
Well, I tell you what, my man, if you can always use this medium, if you want to do some funny stuff here, sketches or whatever you want to do, or whatever characters. This podcast is open for you. I'm not saying do Zoom comedy. I don't know. You
know what, man? I shout out to all the comics who do the Zoom shows.
That's so hard, so different, man.
Do them. I've been offered so many Zoom shows, man, and I can't do it, man. I can't get excited about it for some reason.
So how do you think some of them are translating really well on it? Because I've seen some of them just absolutely crush on it.
I mean, at the end of the day, funny is funny,
Right. Okay.
And the good ones they're gonna shine. So I mean, like I said, shout out to them, man. But me personally, I couldn't get excited about it. I tried to force myself to do it and couldn't do it.
I use this podcast because I don't know when it comes to Zoom. When someone says stand-up comedy on Zoom, I don't know, man. The whole purpose of stand-up comedy is going out, the essence. Being on stage, the lights are dim,
connecting with that audience.
Yeah, and then the little stuff before the show starts, find out who's in an argument or who isn't. You ever done that? You ever find out who was in an argument?
Yep.
Well, you ever antagonize an argument when you're on stage?
Oh man, of course.
What did you do?
Oh God, let me see which one. I always say that when the checks are coming, that black people are going to be arguing about who's paying for what. Whenever the checks start coming. Man, I have done stuff. Always first dates when you find out somebody's on the first date and you kind of joke with them a little bit. Oh man, what a the ones that I like to get now, and my style of comedy. I don't pick on people. I don't.
Right.
That's not my thing. But I look for that person who, arms crossed and sitting there trying to, seeing how long they can keep a straight face.
Right.
I whenever I'm going on and I see that, every comic that's on that show with me, I tell them, I'm gonna make that guy laugh before I get off the stage. We were on the road one time. We were up in Bend, Oregon. Me, G King, Chris Riggins, and Big Tree.
Years ago. Good lineup.
Yeah. And we were doing this show, and there was this one guy, and he was sitting there, and he had a look on his face like, I'm not going to laugh at anything. And I'm telling them the whole time, I am going to make that guy laugh before I get off the stage. I'm like 15 minutes into my set. I don't remember what I said. This dude laughed so hard. I stopped in the middle of my set and was like, I got him. I told you I was going to get him. And, man.
It's such a huge, it's like a comic knockout. When you get someone just like.
Oh, yeah. And that's how he was. And I'm like, because sometimes you look like, how did you even come out, man?
Right.
Like, Right.
And it's so funny. A lot of comics, we always stop the show sometimes. Like we can have like this whole roar of room just up and down, and you just see that one person. You're like, and you just focus on one person. You're like, God damn, I can't break that one person. Can't. Why do you think that is? Why are we so obsessed with that one person not laughing?
I take it as a challenge. I mean, me personally, like that. When I can make that person laugh, that means I'm really on my I'm on my game. When because you can have how it is, man. You can have 300 people laughing, and that 301st person, you're like, he's gonna laugh before I get off this stage. Like you make it like your mission to make that person laugh. And
it is, man. Yeah, it is a mission. It's like an obsession.
Yeah, because you'll feel like you didn't do your job if you get off stage and that dude didn't laugh.
Right. Even though
everybody else is dying.
Even though 300 people give you a stand ovation and all buying merch, and you see that one guy, come here.
Yeah, and you see him walk out, and you just look at him.
You motherfucker, you will love next time. By the way, buy my merch.
Yeah. So, yeah. Man.
Oh man, when are you coming up again? You down in Anaheim?
I'm living in Anaheim, and I've been down in Southern Cal for like 3 years now.
Okay.
I got booked at the. Have you heard about the new comedy club out in Alameda?
Yeah, we were talking about it. I actually emailed the booker with your recommendation.
Patrick, yeah, man. Shout out to Patrick over at the new comedy club in Alameda. I got booked, but I got pushed back because they had to push their opening back. So he wanted me to do December, but I asked him if I could come out for my birthday weekend. So I'll be out there the weekend of January 22nd, which is actually my birthday. January 22nd. So I'll be there. I think it's like the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Because I think you do 2 shows on Saturday. I think it's 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, and then he has a clean show on Sunday. So I'll probably stick around and do that show as well. But yeah, man, I still like coming to the Bay, but it don't feel like home. Like Oakland doesn't feel like home anymore. Like
come up to Elk Grove, man. We'll hang out, dude. For sure.
I have so many friends and family up in that area, man. I gotta come up there when it's under triple digits, because that's like a whole nother heat in Elk Grove. That's like reliving slavery in Elk Grove. Like, man, Elk Grove, the heat in Elk Grove will make you mad for no reason. Like
it does, dude.
You can be in the liquor store scratching off a scratcher and win $5,000 and walk onto your car and be like, fuck!
I hate this. I won.
I don't need this goddamn money. All I'm gonna do is spend it on air conditioner.
Yeah, and that he's just right there on you the whole time, dude.
I was trying to get up there because I wanted to do laughs before the year was out, because I usually do laughs in October. But with everything, with the pandemic and everything, and I guess people's dates got shuffled around. But I just reached out to Jen, I think like last week, to see if I could try to get in before the end of the year, because I love Laughs Unlimited, man.
It's a great room, man.
Love that room. Love it.
It's got that good feel.
Have you seen it since they remodeled it?
Yeah, it looks gorgeous, man. That new stage is fantastic, man.
Yeah, I love doing Laughs. And Jen is like one of the nicest people. Like, oh man, Jen is cool. Jen, Molly,
Oh, I love Punchline, man.
Oh man, Molly. It's funny. I tell people when I put it like this, when I first started doing comedy, Molly was the girl at the door who took the tickets.
Really?
Yeah. And now Molly runs everything. Man.
She's the godmother of comedy. She's the mob boss.
I come up a lot now too to do the Throckmorton in Mill Valley.
I love that place.
Lucy Mercer, who man, shout out to Lucy Mercer, who's one of the nicest, sweetest people in the world. She'll pretty much let me host it whenever I ask. So if I have something going on in the Bay, I'll try to get up there early and get a Tuesday night in up there because that room is incredible. I love that room. Love it.
Well, you got spots, man. Dustin, hopefully you and him can hook up, and he's got some rooms, and they're fun rooms too, man. He's really changing Weed, California. It's no longer Meth Mountain, man. He changed it, dude. I'm telling you, it's a great spot up there, man.
The show that you had that you advertised with what's got the headliner
Nick Larson.
Oh man, that's my dude right there.
By the way, Top Dog Comedy at Dreaming Dog Brewery, October 17th, free entry.
Yeah,
I had to throw it in.
Man, Nick Larson, that is my dude. That's a funny dude, man.
Yeah, man.
Funny dude. I'll tell you a funny story about Nick. Nick and I used to always work together at the Throckmorton in Mill Valley, and at the Throckmorton, they'll get dirty, people will get raunchy. But when I'm hosting, the host isn't supposed to come out there and get dirty and raunchy and stuff like that. So Nick and I had only worked at the Throckmorton until we got booked on a show. Nick was hosting, I was the headliner, and Saul Trujillo was the feature. And we were out at the Crow's Nest in
nice.
Was Santa Cruz. And I went up and I did it out, and it was like we all crushed that show. And when Nick came up to me afterwards, he was like, "Damn, that wasn't a Throckmorton set." I was like, man, I don't get dirty or raunchy or anything, but I got loose. I had some fun, man, and I had a ball.
It's a big difference when you go loose, man.
Yeah.
Because you're having fun, you're having a good time.
I tell people all the time, man, the difference in doing like a 15-minute set to doing like a 45-minute set, you have time to set jokes up. You can take your time. You can really like go at your pace. You don't have to rush. You're not trying to rush stuff in. You can just you can really do you. Right. And I love it. It's funny. I remember watching Dugar when I was first starting, and Dugar would headline shows, and he would do, 45 minutes to an hour, and he would make it look so easy. And I'd be sitting off to the side like, man, I'm never gonna have that much material, man. Like I said back then, I had a tight 15. I had a good 15.
Right.
But when people were like, "Oh, we need you to do 30 minutes," I'm like, "Woo!" But to look back on that now, and I mean, I've done shows where I look at my watch and I'm like, damn, I've been on stage for an hour and a half. Like, oh, let me get out of here.
So when you're in that flow, are you even you're not even thinking about your jokes anymore? It's just you being you on stage.
Yeah, it'll. The last time it really happened, I was doing the Englander in San Leandro.
Okay.
And a lot of friends, a lot of family. Like I'm from Oakland, so a lot of friends, a lot of family came out, and I was doing my regular set, but I had so many new jokes that I wanted to work on, and there were so many jokes about my family that I wanted to tell. About growing up and so they were like stories like, that I was working on. And I told probably 2 of them that night. And man, people were laughing. My family was just like in tears. They were laughing so hard. They were like, oh my God. Talking about how I used to be scared to go in the basement and get the clothes out the dryer when I was a kid. And and just all this other stuff that I wanted to tell for so long. Because like even now, man, 21 years in the game, and I'm still, growing. I found my voice, but now I want it to be more about me. I want to be so transparent when I'm on stage, man. I want people to know, because a lot of times one thing that I've learned when crowds relate more when they know you're being honest and you're really telling, true stories about yourself. And then not only that, but when you can let your crowd know that I've been through this too, something that a lot of people out there think that they're probably the only ones going through. Like I can make it funny, but at the same time, I'm letting you know, hey, been there, done that. Like next July, man, I celebrate 10 years clean and sober. You know,
congratulations.
Yeah, man. You know, so I talk about that. I joke about that, but then I don't get too serious, but I let people know, hey, man, you can overcome it, man. That by the grace of God, man, you can overcome anything in this life.
Yeah, you don't want to be preachy and pointing the finger at the crowd. You want to be of the crowd.
Yeah. But
you're just with the microphone.
Yeah, but I tell people, I'm not gonna force anything on you. You know my Facebook page. I put a positive message up every morning. Right. But I'm not gonna force my beliefs on you. But I tell people, if you want to know what I've been through and what I feel God has done for me, I'll sit you down and tell you. But I'm not gonna force it on you. I'm not gonna say, oh man, you need to stop drinking. You need to stop doing it. Nah.
Right.
Not gonna do that. But I can tell you some of the things that can, occur by using drugs and alcohol.
I tell you what, you have my vote for president. I vote for you for president any day, dude. Are you kidding me?
I might run. If Kanye runs, I'm running.
Dude, I would vote for you, man. I'm like, he was a former addict, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, man. He's part of the people. Okay, why can't you vote for him?
You know what? Quiet as kept. I'd probably be worse than Trump. Because I'm like, man, I'm a control freak. I'm serious. I'd be worse than Trump. People they'd be like, we got to shoot him. Like,
they're like, dude, we need Trump back. What the hell?
Yeah, they'd be calling him. They'd have me doing speeches, and they'd have a split screen just like this, and just showing him looking like, I told you. I'm old school, man. Like really, really old school. Like my parents were old school. The people on here responding, they know. I was raised old school. I don't believe in timeouts. I think kids should get their ass whipped.
There you go.
I'm not, like I said, I'll never tell you to beat a child, but if the child does something to get hit, I'm gonna hit him. And if he does,
if the parent's beating, he'll just look the other way.
And if he does it again, I'm gonna hit him again. On the timeout. I'm not a timeout person. Yeah. Oh my God. No, dude, have you seen that where they tell you to count for your child? Come here. 1, 2, 3. I'm in the grocery store. This lady was come here. 1, 2, 3. I went to the end of the store and came back. She was like 47. Tell people, please.
Dude, I can see that. You're just when
I was growing up, if somebody was counting, that meant somebody was unconscious.
Like, 1, 2.
And you tell them, take the whole 8. Take the whole 8. Nah. He's out. Man, nah, we didn't do timeouts. We did knockouts. Like, dude, and I grew up in that era where your neighbors could whip you. Like,
oh shit.
Oh man, my next door neighbor. You know what's funny? My next door neighbor is Ryan Coogler, the director, grandmother.
Oh, really?
She passed away years ago, Miss Arnetta. His father is like my big brother.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I met Ryan when he was probably 9, 10 years old, something like that. And but his grandma, man, their mom, she said something to me one day, and I said something smart. And she wore me out in the driveway. I mean, wore me out.
So the director of Black Panther's grandmother, beat your ass.
Yeah,
that's legendary, dude.
That's my claim.
It's like Wakanda forever on that shit right there.
She wore my ass.
Oh wow! But that's a legend, man. He's like, dude,
man.
Black Panther's grandma beat my ass, man. You can tell that to your dying day, dude.
Hey, man, she wore me out. And then the thing, what was funny about it was I was like, I'm gonna tell my mom, and my mom is gonna go over there and beat her up. My mother whipped my ass again and made me go over there and apologize.
Oh man, damn! Like, we don't apologize. You don't tell me to apologize. Oh my God, man. Well, we're gonna get going, my friend. We're like an hour 12. Hold on. I think Dustin has one more question for you, man. He's been sticking around. Dustin, you there, buddy?
Yeah, what's up, man?
You got one more question before we get going?
I grew up in a Catholic household, so the stories of getting your ass whooped by parents and neighbors are giving me Vietnam flashbacks over here.
Hey, my mom still goes to Catholic church to this day. I
still go to confession.
I went to Catholic school from 7th grade until I graduated.
Wow.
Thus why you became a comedian.
Man, St. Joe's, Alameda. I graduated from St. Joe's in Alameda.
Wow, that's cool, man. That's bad. So I, as a up and coming comedian, I'd be remiss not to ask for advice. You brought up Laughs. You said it's one of your favorite places to perform. I'm fortunate enough, November 12th, I get to perform my very first time at Laughs. I'm very excited about
Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And I was wondering if you had any advice, something you wish you would have known your first time performing at Laughs that new comedians watching could use.
Working at Laughs, always remember the cool thing about Laughs is a very like blue collar room. You get a lot of people coming in there after work and stuff like who are you working with?
JR DeGuzman and
JR, that's my guy. That's a funny kid, man.
I love JR. He's the
funny kid. Tell JR I said what's up when you see him.
I will, absolutely.
The people in Laughs, man, like I said, very just down to earth, blue collar crowd, man. They come to laugh. They come to have a really good time. If you're doing a thing, they're gonna ride with you, man. They're gonna support you. I would just say go in there and just like I said, well, the whole thing, just do you. But the thing, and this is some of the best advice that I ever got in comedy. And Linnell gave me this advice. Shout out again to Linnell. What people used to always wonder about me when they would see me at comedy clubs, whether I was working or not, I to this day I always sit in the back in probably the darkest corner I can find. And the reason I do that is because I look at the crowd. Because Linnell taught me, before you go on stage, you have to know who's in the audience. You have to know, is it predominantly black? Is it predominantly white? Is it predominantly male? Is it predominantly female? Is it an older crowd? Is it a younger crowd? Then what you do is you play to the majority. You want to include everyone, but you play to the majority, because what you got to understand is once you get the majority of a room laughing, laughter is contagious. And once everyone starts laughing, everyone else is going to start laughing. So you have to know who's in that audience. And if you're not going up first, you watch the other comics too to see what's working and what's not working. Because a comedy night with JR DeGuzman headlining, last time I worked with JR was years ago when he was really just getting started. He's funny. But if from working with him the last time, he doesn't attract a raunchy, like dirty crowd. Like JR can be funny on that guitar, but he's not going to use a lot of 4-letter words and stuff like that. But he knows how to do it. He knows how to be very witty and very clever. So if you are going to tell stories or jokes that are dirty or sexual jokes, just do it in a clever way. Less is more sometimes. And if you do drop a 4-letter word, always remember, 4-letter words are used to emphasize the punchline. The 4-letter word is not the punchline. It's used to emphasize the punchline. But other than that, man, just go up there, have fun. How long you been doing comedy? Real quick.
7 years now.
7 years. So you already know this, but some people still don't know this. When you go on stage and you take the mic out of the stand, take the stand and put it behind you. So it is not in front of you. Or unless you like to or unless you like to lean on it like I do. But other than that, just man, have fun, man. Laughs is a great room, man. Just have a ball, man. Have a ball.
I will, man. Thank you so much, both of you guys. Seriously, I'm excited.
No problem, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Dustin. Kirk, man. First of all, you are the KRS-One of comedy, man. The teacher, the grandmaster, my friend.
I thought you were trying to say I had a big nose.
No. My man, dude, it's been so fun. Dude, I can't believe we're at an hour and 15 minutes right now, dude. This has been such a wonderful moment.
I gotta come on your show because you don't call me anymore, Mike. You used to call me a lot.
I'm like, Kurt, how do I do this? Dude, you know what, man? I'm telling you, dude, if I get after hold on. I gotta do a plug and then I gotta bring you up. Hold on. After October 17th, Top Dog Comedy at Dreaming Dog Brewery. If I get another show after that, man, I would love to have you come out and headline, man.
Come on, man. You already
I can introduce you to Dustin. I can book him too. After October 17th at Dreaming Dog Brewery.
I like how you go to the radio voice when you're like, go to the Top Dog Comedy.
Top Dog Comedy at Dreaming Dog Brewery Saturday, October 17th. Free entry.
All you got to do is let me know the dates. If I'm available, man, I'm gonna come running.
Yeah. I'll let you know. And I'd like to get a budget, man. So once I don't like to have comics drive all the way out for practically nothing. So even with this pandemic, man, I'll make sure. Okay. But I would love to have you.
I mean, come on, man. I already know you're not going. you know.
I'm not gonna give you the hey man speech. That's what I'm never gonna give you.
Oh, hey man, you see, we didn't draw like we thought.
Every comic knows that, dude.
Every comic knows that when they put their arm around you and their hand and other hand in the pocket.
Hey man.
Ooh, oh man, before we go real quick.
Go ahead. I had
a guy book me one time. This was years ago. I think I was like 5 years in or something. Just like I said, just really starting to make some noise. And this guy booked me for a show. He said, "Hey man, I want you to come out and headline. I need you to do 30 minutes. He said, I got $300 for you."
Wow.
You know, I'm like, "Oh man, $300, cool." And it was a local show, so I could probably get there in like 30 minutes. So we go do the show, man. Show was a lot of fun. People laughing hard. We had a good time. And afterwards, he came over and he put that arm around me. He was like, "Hey, let me talk to you real quick." Right then, I was like, "Damn."
There it is.
And this dude said, we walked outside. He said, "Man, how much did I say I was paying you again?" I said, $300. He said, "Well, look, man, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you $75 right now. I'm going to give you a fifth of Hennessy, and then I'm going to come by your house and give you another $100 on Monday." I was like, that still doesn't add up to $300.
First of all, you're not coming to my house for just a fifth of Hennessy and $7. I'm not gonna lie. It costs $300 to maintain my house for one day.
I mean, when he said I'm gonna give you a fifth of Hennessy, I was like, I really got to step my game up because this is ridiculous. Like, this dude is paying me in alcohol.
Dude, he didn't give you just the hey man speech. He offered you drugs and alcohol.
Oh man, man.
How much is the fifth? That's not worth $200.
I know it didn't add, like I said, I know it didn't add up to $300. I think that dude still owes me money to this day.
Dude, get that fifth, man. Sell it.
Oh man.
Damn. Give you a fifth of Hennessy.
Those are the good old days. It's like I tell my wife, man, it was comedy. I still love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it so much. But we all had a lot more fun when we were all just broke and 5, 6 people in a car riding to, go do a showcase somewhere and then leaving there and then going somewhere else and everybody pitching in $5 on gas and stuff like that. Because when I look back on some of the people who were in those cars with us, riding with us back in the day with, like Linnell, Dugar, Nima Williams, Joey Wells, who writes for Rodney Perry now, who's his regular host now, who's on the radio with him. People that we were working with back then, man. Just it was a lot of talent. It was a lot of talent. Like I say, there's so much talent. There's a lot of funny people down here in Southern California. I'll give them that. But I tell people, don't sleep on Northern California, man. Don't sleep on don't sleep on the Bay Area. Don't sleep on Northern California because
there's a lot of talent up here, man, and it's like iron sharpens iron up here, man.
Oh man, shout out Lance Woods, Rico the Great, Mario Hodge, Insane Wayne,
I had him on the show a couple weeks ago, man.
Insane Wayne,
he crushes, man.
He is a beast.
He's not from this planet, dude.
I remember Wayne when Wayne could walk. Mm-hmm. When I first met Wayne was not in that chair. I remember when I got the phone call and I found out that he got shot, and they said there was a possibility that he was going to be paralyzed. I'm just like, oh wow, I'm thinking, man, it's bad. But then I started thinking, how is this going to affect him as a comedian? I thought he was going to stop, and Wayne has not skipped a beat. Like,
no, man.
I think Wayne's funnier now than when he wasn't in that chair.
Dude, I've seen him demolish crowds like nothing, man. Like nothing.
Wayne will make it look easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. I've seen Wayne make it look so easy that the comic coming up after him thought it was easier than it really was, and found out that it's really not.
Right.
As Wayne made it look, man. But Wayne's incredible, man.
Man. So much talent up here, man. We miss you up here, my friend.
I miss all my comedy brothers and sisters up there, man. Shout out to all you guys. Shout out to you, Mike, man. Like, I told you the first time I ever saw you, I was like, dude, you're funny, man.
Thanks, man.
I was like, you're funny. Back when you looked so much like Kevin James.
right. With hair and hopes and dreams before the beard.
What's his name is bald now. I just saw a picture of him the other day. Dan Myers.
Dan Myers? Oh, really?
Yeah, Dan Myers shaved his head.
Really?
Yeah, I saw a picture of him on Facebook. I was like, oh, wow.
Is he doing it for fun or is he just losing it?
I don't know. Good look, because you guys got the head to go, but I couldn't do that, man.
No, man, it's dude. I'm only looking at a certain angle. If you see back here, it's all flat. It's all my dad beating the crap out of me after Bible studies, dude. In the back of the head, it's flat, dude.
What's that Bible study?
Dude, my dad was a preacher, man. So
are you serious?
I used to get my ass beat all the time in the name of the Lord.
Oh man, I tell my wife, we like I said, I was born and raised Catholic, and Catholic church is probably the most boring church in the world, and we would like be dozing off and stuff, and my mom would like flick our ears or pinch us and stuff in church.
My mom would pinch. Yep.
Yeah, and just turn around. I'd be like, you are going to hell. Like you committed an act of violence in the house of the Lord. Like,
but you're doing it in the name of Jesus.
Oh man,
so you get away with it.
I'm over there praying, God, please strike her down for that.
Well, my dad was the preacher. He was the evangelist. So if I fell asleep during my dad, whoo, that's double the whooping, dude.
You guys, evangelist church, you guys be in church all day.
All day long. I remember in the middle of July, while all these kids are outside playing, I was at adult Bible school on a Thursday. I'm like, come on. Give me one break. Give me. What's that? I was in the Bay Area. My dad was just he was Pentecostal evangelist, and he was just touring. He would tour to like Colombia, Singapore. He would be all over, man.
Oh wow.
Yeah. He was like a touring comic, and he was just all over. But then he was just stuck in his office, and if we made one peep, he come out, and the wrath of God comes out with it too. That's why I became a comic.
Crazy.
But I would never do it to my kids, man. That's one thing for sure.
Oh,
I've learned one thing about what my wife taught me. She's like, you don't have to beat your kids, Mike. You could just give them a look or guilt. Guilt works. You don't have to raise a hand with guilt.
I tell my wife all the time, man. My mom was the one that disciplined us, my uncles and stuff like that. But my dad never hit us. He never hit me or my sister. He punched my brother one time. Yeah. Oh man, it was when he punched my brother. I was like, he will never have to do that to me ever.
You learned quick. You're like,
I was like, I am scared straight. Like I would never do that. But no, my dad would. He would just turn and look at you, and you would stop whatever you were doing. You were done. You're like, I'm not playing anymore. Like I'm done.
It's the what's it called? It's the Black Snake Moan Samuel L. Jackson look. Like
I watch. See,
What's up?
This pandemic got me
You
watching.
say good night. Oh, I'm not giving him the look, but good night, sweetie. Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
Good night.
That's awesome, man. See, that's what happens when I don't beat my kids. They give me hugs and kisses. Good night. What's that? I got 2 girls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How old?
Now 12 and 10.
Ooh.
I know, man. I know. I got my knives. I got my guns.
Yeah, definitely.
I got my bows and arrows.
Yeah.
I know some meth heads that can just stab people for $5.
My aunt that's on here, the one I said is my favorite aunt. My favorite aunt, and her husband is my favorite uncle, and they both know this. Anybody in my family, don't try to act like, oh, he's playing favorite. No, I've been saying this my whole life. Corliss and Dwight are my favorites. When their only child, their only daughter, oh my God, this was the funniest thing in the world, was going on her first date, and I was staying with them when I came home from college, and I was staying with them for the summer, and she was going on her first day. I think she was 16, maybe 16, 17, something like that, and I came in from work, and my uncle was in the front cleaning his gun.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm like, what the hell is going on? He was like, Alicia's going on the first date. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Little guy came over to pick her up, and that was the first thing he saw. And I'm biting a hole in my tongue, in my lip, trying not to laugh, because this little kid is so scared. I think that was their first and last date. I don't think they ever went out again after that.
That's hilarious. Speaking of your aunt, she says we should have whipped your butt when you shot the window out of my new car.
You know what?
Damn.
Okay, look, let me tell this story. My aunt and uncle my uncle bought a brand new black on black Gran Torino. Their first ever brand new car. They were young couple. And it wasn't my fault. We were shooting cans on the fence, and I was like probably 6 or 7 years old, and it wasn't. I mean, it was my uncle's fault because he parked the car on the other side of the fence, so he was in the line of fire. So I missed the target and it hit the window, and they blamed it on me. But it was actually his fault because he should have known that, that was like our shooting range. So he should have known.
That's what it was. Yo, Unc, didn't you know?
Uncle,
why would you put your car there?
My uncle was going to kill me. That car, I don't even think that car was a month old.
What year was it?
It was brand new. It was like right off the showroom floor. Whatever year it was brand spanking new. And I mean, this car was beautiful car.
Metallic black, I'm sure.
Beautiful car. And I shot the front windshield. Like I said, it was probably 2 weeks old. If that. And my uncle came home from work and he was like, I heard you shot my car. And I was like, yeah. He was like, you know what? Why don't you go in the other room? Because I don't even want to look at your face right now.
Well, we gotta get going before your auntie drops more dimes on you, my friend.
That's who you need. That's who you need to interview if you really want to find out about me.
Oh shoot, that's funny.
She'll tell you everything: the good, the bad, and the ugly.
That's hilarious. Well, before I go, I always like to leave it on a good note with a prayer, and there's only one way I can leave on a prayer, my friend, and that's the Sam Elliott Prayer. So after this prayer, we're gonna get going, but stick around, okay? Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the Sam Elliott Prayer. And now, a prayer from Sam Elliott.
Dear Heavenly Father, give me the strength, for I don't have any patience for stupidity anymore. Everywhere I go, I see someone doing something stupid, and I just want to smack them across the head, but I can't, dear Father, for you are the dude of this universe. Dear Lord, we're in a pandemic, and I'm starting to lose my cool. All I want to do is sit in my leather chair, smoke a Marlboro Red, and drink a beer. Coors, America's beer. Lone Star Barbecue. Amen.
And that is the Sam Elliott Prayer, my friend.
That's hilarious.
Kirk, again, thank you so much for your time, my friend. This was fun. Oh, you got a comment. She had to throw it in, dude. She said 1974 Gran Torino Elite.
Thank you for telling these people how old I am.
It's a great car. Are you kidding me? It's a beautiful car. Beautiful. Yeah. But anyways, thank you.
That was the coolest car ever. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Hold on. I'm going to have Dustin say goodbye to you too one more time. Dustin, say goodbye to Mr. Kirk.
Hey, good night, Kirk, man. I had a blast listening to your story, man. I didn't think it was possible. I'm a bigger fan, man. I want your action figures for Christmas.
I appreciate it, man. Just do me a favor. Whatever advice you took from me tonight, when you get in the position to do it for someone else, just do it. That's all you do.
Didn't I tell you that, Dustin, a long time ago?
You said the same thing, man. You're a good guy, and I look forward to working with you one day, man.
Man. Hey, I look forward to it. Like I said, hit me up, Facebook, whatever, Instagram. Let me know about that room that you have up there, man. I'd love to come up there and do
great
it.
Room, man.
I'll message you tonight about it, man.
Okay, cool, definitely.
Cool. That's what we do. We connect, we reconnect, and also one last thing before we go. Top Dog Comedy at Dreamy Dog Brewery, October 17th. Free entry this Saturday night. Kirk, God bless you, man. God bless your
Mike.
family.
Thank you.
And be safe, brother.
All right.
We'll be in touch. You guys have a good night.
All right.
Me, myself, and I. It's me,
One more time for Kirk
myself, and
McHenry,
I.
ladies and gentlemen. What an amazing show. Thank you,
Me,
Kirk.
myself, and
Looking
I.
forward to having you up here. One more time
It's
for
me,
Dustin
myself,
Wood.
and I.
Thank you, brother. And one last thing, ladies and gentlemen. Top Dog Comedy at Dreamy Dog Brewery, October 17th. Free entry Saturday. So come on through. Bring the kids. It's a free show for you. And we'll see you next week. Me, myself, and I. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.